Hello, my lovely friends. Welcome back to day 13 of our holiday gift extravaganza. This is Jan of Jan Hicks Creates, and I am so happy to be here. It's funny, several of you have mentioned over the course of all of this and my other floss tube videos how good I look here. So much more relaxed and so much happier, and yeah, I can feel it. There's a lightness of spirit and a joy of being here that, wasn't there before. So I thank you for noticing that. That makes me feel good that it's apparent, I guess. Let's see. I'm actually going to show you some stitching today. So Rita King had asked if she could see, I guess up close, the two Christmas pieces that I had behind me that I stitched for my mother. So these are both Stony Creek designs. Now she had commented gold frames and brown fabric, and I do have to say this one has faded enough that it does kind of look like brownish. It was originally black Ada. So again, I don't know whether this booklet is still available. I have seen it offered several times in like the Stash Unloading group on Facebook, so I know it is available in the secondary market, but I don't know about whether you could get it on the Stony Creek website itself. But anyways, this is one of them. Now, both of these I did frame myself using sticky board. Actually, maybe I did. I don't know whether the back looks like a homegrown job or not. Maybe I took them to Michael's or something, or a place like that to get framed. So I don't know whether they used acid-free mounting board or not. But anyways, they still look pretty good after all this time. So again, Stony Creek. I'm pretty sure these are both in the same booklet. And those were stitched in 1987 as a Christmas present from my mother. The other stitching I wanted to show you, I mentioned yesterday that I am working on a special gift for you. And this is just the beginning of what it will look like. So I'm stitching this on a 28 count Lugana. The color is ice blue. And I am using one of Vicki Clayton's silk hand-dyed fibers. Rubbed Dark Mermaid is the color. And I'm doing this, it's a monochrome piece. And the idea is that you will choose whatever colors work best for your home. So that is that. Whoops, hold on. I just sent the silk flying. So I won't have this all stitched by, I plan to have it ready to go. Boy, this really came unrolled. I plan to have it ready to go for you for Friday. I will not have this all stitched, but it will be a little gift for you guys. Okay, put that over there. All right, so on with the show. Stitching spaces, lovely stitching spaces. It seems to me, so I didn't get through them all. And I do apologize for that. I did kind of scan through a lot of them. I read through a chunk of them, but I did not go through all of the comments. But it seems from what I read that the most important thing, of course, is good lighting, right? Whether we're stitching at a desk or have a special place in our living room or have our own stitching room like this. So good lighting is a must, and sometimes it's just by a window with good lighting, and of course other times it's our various lights that we like to use. Second is having something on which to watch floss tube. Over here. This is where you want to look.
Hi.
This is the problem when he is home from work. He should be sitting in front of his laptop, but apparently he feels he has to wander around. Okay, so something on which to watch floss tube or whatever TV you prefer, like, your iPad or your TV or whatever. And then also taking the time to be able to stitch with your family. So in the evenings, you know, kind of having your spot on your family sofa to sit and stitch and be with the kids and watch whatever's on TV. And, you know, one of the things that I would say I'm still getting used to after having Mike come and pop his head in like this is being so separated from him. You know, we've been in either an apartment or, of course, the RV since 2017. So even though I had a separate room in our apartment, both in Hawaii and in Maryland, it's not like there was a long distance between that room and the main living room where Mike was. And of course, in Hawaii, he was going to work every day. And in San Antonio, for the most part, he was going to work every day. Although that seems like a long time ago that he actually went into work. But it is just kind of weird to have like this kind of separation. I'm still getting used to that. I don't mind it, but it still feels weird to me. But speaking of Mike and work, and speaking of Hawaii, 3 years ago today was our first full day on Oahu. We arrived there on December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day, in the afternoon. So yeah, just talk about seeming like a long time ago. That seems like, wow, it's only been 3 years, but a lot has happened in the meantime. All right, yesterday's winners. Let me get these over here so I can transfer the numbers. Number 1, 3 Little Kittens, is going to Deanna Love. Deanna says, well, she says hostage at home in my recliner. I think what she means is, or what autocorrect didn't allow her to say is, I stitch at home in my recliner while watching TV. I also stitch when I'm working and waiting on patients to get done with their appointment. I love that. Way to fit in your stitching whenever you can. That's how you get things done. Number 2, Cooper, goes to Nora Fingston. I hope I said that right. Nora Fingston, P-F-I-N-G-S-T-E-N. Nora says, I stitch in 2 spots, in my chair, in the office, or on the couch. The office is nice because I watch FlossTube on my computer. The couch is more comfortable, and I relax there and chat with the kids while I stitch. Number 3, Home Sweet Home. And speaking of Oahu, this is going to D. Oahu Stitcher. Now, D. Oahu Stitcher, I assume you are not D's nuts. This does not read like you talk, so I don't think this is you. But if this isn't, then D. Oahu Stitcher, there is another D stitching on Oahu. And in fact, we had a stitching group together, me and her and several other stitchers on Oahu. And you know, ladies, I wish you would start that up again. I loved getting together with you guys every month and chatting and stitching and, you know, just being stitchers together, talking about all the stuff going on in the stitching world. I sure hope you guys get together and, you know, pick that up again. There's enough of you on Oahu that you'd have a nice stitching group. Anyway, she says, my stitchy spot is a bunch of repurposed furniture in a corner of a sunny room with lots of light that went routinely unused until I set it up. A comfy chair with an ottoman, a set of plastic drawers, and a little coffee table. This was a 2021 accomplishment. I set up my stitchy spot and adjusted it over time. Now I have all of my tools within reach, FlossTube is at the ready, and a small pink Christmas tree on a nearby shelf. I use it almost every day. What I love most about it is the feeling of contentment I get just from sitting down to start a project or some kitting, even for just 20 to 30 minutes. So she says, 1 and 3 look amazing. Thanks for the lovely videos. So you just won number 3. Okay, that goes there. Wait, see, I'm getting myself confused again. That goes there. This goes here. All right, number 4. The Sanctuary Bell Pull. Bird Sanctuary Bell Pull. This is going to Nora Verheyen, V-E-R-H-E-Y-E-N. Nora says, I stitch in my craft room in a comfortable chair with my dog at the side. Thank you for all the work that you've put into this. You are very welcome. I am so glad I decided to do this again. Number 5. You go here, you come here. Number 5 is the pumpkin patch. I fancy that. Number 5 is going to Linda Spost, S-P-O-S-T. I love all of your videos. Thank you for giving us all something to look forward to for the 12 days of Christmas, or in this case, the 15 days of Christmas. My stitching spot in the family room. Oh, my stitching spot is in the family room. I have my light clipped to my side table, and sometimes I use my iPad to hold my charts. I'm usually watching TV or my iPad watching FlossTube. Yay! All right, and number 6, the Iris Mosaic Kit, is going to Carrie Dye. Carrie says, my fave place to stitch is in my love seat, with a good light and a cat asleep next to me. That sounds awesome. I do not have a cat asleep next to me right now. She is asleep on her chair upstairs. She slept all night in her chair upstairs, which is very unusual because she usually, when we go to bed, she comes to bed with us. So it's very unusual not to have her at some point in the bed with us. All right. Next, we have today's. We have number 1 is Fall into Winter by Ship's Manor. That is number 1. Number 2, they're just all so stinking cute. Winter Wienerland, again by Plum Street. I have to think that Paulette just sat down one day and came up with all the puns she could think of for wiener dogs and just made a list and started designing them. So Winter Wienerland is the next one. Just so cute. Number 3 is So Happy. Another Lori Holt, It's So Emma design. Number 4 is Quilter's Cottage. Let me move the, and another quilt, another It's So Emma design. And I have more stitching to show you because this is one that I stitched. This was being worked on while we were in Hawaii. And as you can see, I totally changed the colors. Those primary colors really did nothing for me. So I changed them up. And I do have this color conversion on my color conversion page on my website, madforyarn.com. So Quilter's Cottage is number 4. Number 5 is Angel Tapestry by Just Nan. And I also have stitched this. There's a cat hair attached to it. I've stitched this one. And this one, so this I stitched many moons ago. But I think I only finished this when we were in Hawaii. And as you can see, I put a butterfly button up there because when I was finishing this, I could not find the angel button that I had gotten to go with it that goes there. Guess what I found when we moved here and when I was sorting through everything? I found the angel button. So it is attached to the chart so that when you get it and stitch it, you will have the button to finish it with. All right, so that is number 5. And number 6 is the quilt pattern Rose in Bloom. And this is the only one today that is open to US only, unless you are willing to pay shipping internationally. So Rose in Bloom. And I wanted to add a little news note. Also Quilt and Fat Quarter Shop related. I don't know whether you saw, but Fat Quarter Shop announced yesterday that they are doing a new quilt along and stitch along based on the flea market quilt. Now, one of you won the quilt pattern flea market quilt in the midst of all of this one of these days. I don't know when it's starting, but Lori Holt has designed a cross-stitch pattern to coordinate with the flea market quilt pattern. And that will be a quilt along, stitch along, starting soon, I think. But I will link both of those below. So if you're interested, you can check those out. Okay, question of the day. Today's question of the day is also from Verpi R. Verpi, maybe, I'm not sure. She says, what do you prepare for dinner when you have to make something quickly that hopefully everyone will eat? I remembered those days so well when the boys were just little things that, you know, they were like 5 things that they were willing to eat. And after a while, you got really tired of those 5 things. We were always trying new things, but you never knew for sure, right? How, in fact, I had a cookbook. I don't remember what the name of it is at this point, but it was like Sneaky Vegetables or Sneaky Chef or something, how to get vegetables into your kids, you know, without them knowing. I made quite a bit from that. These days, my fast thing that I think would work with kids is nachos. So, nachos, and of course we stay pretty much vegetarian as much as we can. We do eat dairy, so our nachos has black beans or the Beyond Meat crumbles, cheese, salsa, avocado, and, you know, melt that all together, and I think just about anybody would be happy eating that. And of course it's gluten-free for me because the corn chips are gluten-free, so quick and easy, just throw it all together. You can add whatever different things you like. Mike prefers to add jalapeno on his as well. I don't eat that stuff. So yeah, that's what we do. Or the ever popular tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwiches. You can't go wrong with that. I'm also happy to say that Progresso makes a great range of gluten-free soups. So if you're really in a hurry and you have gluten issues like me, Progresso soup is really good. Well, really good for a canned soup, right? And it's the way to go. All right, that is enough for me today. I hope you guys have a lovely Wednesday, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.